Wait, I'll sit by a mic, actually. There we go. That's what they're for. Hello.
Hey.
Good morning. Good morning. It's morning, right? I don't even know. Hang on, Tim's gonna get all hooked up. How you doing, Indianapolis? Good? Good.
And good morning. Maggie Lawson, everybody.
Timothy Omundson, everybody.
Welcome to Indiana. We're so excited to have you. It's a pleasure. There are so many people here. We have so many people. We want to just jump right into questions. If you're okay, if we just get right to questions.
Yeah, let's jump in.
All right, let's go ahead. Start with the first question.
There's so many people. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming.
Hi, I'm Giselle, super big fan.
Hi, Giselle.
My question was, what are each of your favorite cameos from the show?
Ooh, that's good. Oh my goodness. Favorite cameos from the show? I mean, well, he did a couple of episodes. I'm probably gonna have to go with John Cena.
Oh.
Because he's my brother.
Yes.
What do you think, Tim? Who were your favorite cameos?
I mean, it's hard to say cameos because everybody we had was just so. They were much more than cameos. They were solid. I would say, I think my favorite guest star. It's like this is the toughest question in the world because we had so many amazing ones. I think my personal favorite was Tim Curry.
Oh yeah.
Just because he's such a freaking legend.
A really good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Next question.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
I almost wore the same robe.
Yeah.
Right? We would have matched. Last Night Gus is my absolute all-time favorite episode. Every time I watch it, my face hurts from laughing.
Yeah.
What was your absolute favorite part of that? Because you all mesh so well, the entire cast working together.
Well, I got to say, our goal is always in comedy making making our audience hurt to some degree from laughing.
Yeah. And I
Success.
think that achieved it. That episode really achieved that.
It
I
did.
love the sequence when you all wake up and have to like see where you are and what the hell
Peaches.
happened. Yes, exactly. Peaches.
Yes, the spooning was fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlton, for that. Thank you, guys.
They rehearsed that for a while. Yeah.
It is so funny. You guys you're so funny. I'm just curious. Of the cast, who would break first and start to laugh first on?
Always Tim.
Always.
You can even see it in some takes. His nostrils flare, that's the first thing that starts to happen, and then his lip starts to quiver. And you know he's not crying.
It's because I'm biting my tongue so hard.
Yeah.
So I'm quivering in pain.
Yeah.
Next question.
Hi, Timothy. My name's Chris. I think you have amazing singing voice. Do you regret on Galavant didn't have another season or more seasons?
I do.
I couldn't. These are popping in.
Do you wish Galavant had had more seasons because you have such an incredible singing voice?
Oh, thank you. I love your Galavant shirt. I mean, your Ted Cooper shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely wish we'd gotten more seasons. But that being said, I am grateful and blessed for the two that we had.
Yeah.
And thanks for the singing compliment.
Thank you.
Oh, and I just want to answer the. I think it's answer the Last Night Gus question. My favorite scene, yes, I did love waking up with Woody after the spooning, but I think my favorite scene really was the aftermath of all of us jumping in the pool because it was you, me, and Corbin, just trying again not to. All of us just like
not to laugh.
Not even not trying to laugh because we were just full on laughing, just
Giggling.
busting up.
Oh, that was so fun. I always forget about that. I always forget that that's in Last Night Gus because there's so much that happens.
Because it was one of the rare scenes where we all got to be together.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good scene. Oh my God, you're at costume, yes.
Thank you. So my question is for you, Maggie.
Yes.
What was your favorite Undercover episode?
Oh, God, I loved all of them so much. I mean, it's tough because the first one that I really got to do was Scary Sherry, and I feel like that still is in my heart as my favorite, most ridiculous, going way too far Undercover. But roller derby is a close second.
Yeah.
Because I got to rehearse that. I got to practice skating, and they let me do some of that stunt stuff. Let me do. I just did it. So it was really fun. Those are both very important. You're in the Maniac costume. It's crazy.
You're
It's
in Maniac.
incredible.
Play, right?
Like, you look fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So good.
Excellent. All right, next question.
I want to answer that question because my favorite O'Hara Undercover was definitely Mary Lou Baumgarten.
Yeah. I just went way too far.
When doesn't O'Hara go way too far with Undercover?
And I also got to have an axe fight.
Which is so fun to watch you play these.
It was ridiculous. It was so fun. First season too. That one's really special to me.
Hi. She also had a pineapple purse. If you didn't see it.
Oh my God! I didn't see the pineapple purse.
My question's also about Galavant. I think your portrayal of King Richard was both hilarious but also complex. And we ended the show with this big revelation that you are the one true king to unite them all, yet we didn't get to see how that played out. And I'm just curious, just how do you think Richard handled the weight of that prophecy, and what did it look like for him after he was becoming the one true king?
Yes. Good question. Well, we never got to see you in Galavant be the one true king. So she was asking, what would you have done? What do you think how would we have seen Richard?
What an awesome... Thank you for the Galavant love, by the way. I'm a little caught off guard because I'm just...
Yeah.
The job, other than Psych, was the closest to my heart. To have backed up 8 years of glory with Psych, to get to play in Galavant was just beyond a dream. But the one true king, let's see. Well, we did get to see him a little bit. I feel like we saw him at the very end, leading in battle with Gareth.
Okay, next question.
You feel like a king to our cast too. I swear. I feel like you're this warrior, this leader of our crew.
I think the reason I loved it most is because I didn't have to trim my beard or cut my hair.
True.
Thank you both for a classic show, and thanks for being here. The reason I'm here is my daughter fell in love with the show about a year ago. She's 10, and she came in and started laughing in all the correct places, and I was like, I think she likes this, and she fell in love, especially with Juliet. So she always wants to know what your favorite episode, Maggie, would be as far as the whole series. Our favorite is season 2, probably, but what season?
What's your favorite in season 2? Is that your favorite season or your favorite episode?
Season 2 is just our favorite favorite season in general.
What's your name?
What's your favorite? Down the Stretch?
Oh, the horsey episode. Yeah. I love that. That's like a special episode that not a lot of people know as well, and I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed.
Howard Hessman was in it, and I've got the WKRP.
And you're wearing a WKRP shirt. That's awesome. There's a lot of awesomeness happening there. My favorite episode, I'm all over the place with this, and it changes because we're rewatching it now with the podcast, but probably Mr. Yin Presents is my favorite. I just feel like the Hitchcock theme and the emotion that's played, and then also the crazy stunt, and then the moment that Juliet and Lassiter get to have at the end where there are no words, and I just feel like for us, our characters, that was such a special, the clock tower, special moment, and yeah. I love Odyssey though too. I don't know that Odyssey is always is talked about as much, but we were just Maggie and Tim in Odyssey. I don't know that we were actually Juliet and Lassiter in that episode. But I would go Mr. Yin Presents and Odyssey, Scary Sherry. I'm just going to start naming a whole bunch. But yeah, I'll say Mr. Yin today. Mr. Yin Presents.
Thank you.
That's my favorite episode. Also, what's your name?
It's Emma.
Hi, Emma.
She's a little shy.
That's okay. You don't have to go to the microphone if you don't want to. I just want to say hi.
When you guys were filming it, though, the chemistry was so palpable with the cast.
Yeah.
Did you realize, because there's so many television shows, but very few of them are so enduring. And Psych is carried on for so long, and people love it just as much today as when it first aired. Did you guys sense that it was that special at the time when you were filming it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the way I talk about Psych is like, I think a lot of times you can go through something and you're just in the motions of it, right? And you're not really taking it in, and you kind of look back on it and go, man, that was like, what a special time. What's crazy is I think all of us, except for Dule at that time, like none of us had ever had a season 2 of a show. So already we were like, we're just lucky to be here. And then on top of that, it was like, oh my God. And then we got this incredible family that came along with it. So, and I think we did, I think we really took it in while we were doing it. I think we all did know how special it was.
Yeah, I mean, I always say it was 8 years, not a bad word between any of us in that, which is unheard of in any office space.
Yeah, and still to this day, we rarely go 48 hours without somebody lighting up. It's called our Psych Fam text thread, as we just call it, our Psych Fam. And it's our cast, and plus some writers, Andy, some other people, and Saladin.
The chemistry of this cast was just lightning in a bottle. It was
crazy.
It's so incredibly rare. And I think
we knew that.
We did know at the time.
Yeah. We were grateful every day. I feel like we just every day we're like, how lucky are we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was just that love has just continued on and off set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
And has continued after the show is done.
Next question.
Hi. My question's for Timothy. At what point in the show do you think Detective Lassiter started respecting Sean as a detective?
I could. That mic's not.
At what part of it, like in the series, when do you think Lassiter started to respect Sean as a detective or a psychic detective?
Oh, that's a tough question. God, I'm trying to remember exactly what point it would have been. I think during the Yin Yang episodes when he really, because stakes were so high, and I think Lassiter realized what Sean was actually contributing to everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
This question is for Timothy.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah. Deep cut. What was your favorite part of the movie Luck of the Irish?
There's so many. I mean, how do you pick one moment in one of the greatest pieces of cinema known through history? It's got to be it was the direction I received from the director, where I think the basis of the direction was occasionally he would just go, more, I'm like, wait, what? More, So I just think that was the direction, was just like more kind of weird, creepy menace. But I think the favorite part was actually driving that SUV, or pretending to drive that SUV through the streets of Salt Lake City. And
it wasn't
just
the fake river
maniacal
dancing?
cackle that I let out.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good, Tim.
Well,
Oh,
I
wow.
can't let a Luck of the Irish question go by without a hoity, 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 hoity,
Yes. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Maggie, I had a
Yes.
question. Was your and Spencer's love story throughout the whole series, was that designed or was that an afterthought? Because there's the one episode where you guys go back and you look at that. I didn't know if that was like written into the script beforehand or not.
It's interesting, actually, because I think, we didn't know how long Psych was going to go at first. So when I auditioned initially, it was after that episode we don't talk about. It's a joke. The pilot. No, I'm kidding. The pilot's amazing.
I never knew what that
it's a
episode
joke.
was called.
That Lassiter and that character Lucinda were involved. So I was brought when Juliet came on. It was a whole new character, and I did read with Sean for a chemistry read. I read with James for like a chemistry read. So I think the plan, just because that first scene, so the scene I auditioned with was the spelling bee scene at the diner, and I think one other, but that's the only one I really remember. And we had, it was like to see the possible romantic chemistry. So I know that was in their heads to begin with, but I think when we saw that the show was gonna stick around for a little while, we didn't want to jump that too quickly, and that needed to be earned. That's always such a delicate line, you know, and a balance. So I think that was the ultimate goal. But I think once the show started and we started, like, you know, we knew we were going to have a few seasons, we were like, let's play this out, because it needs to be kind of earned. I thought the writers did such, I've used a mic before, such a good job of really building up, you know, us getting to know each other and who we are, or whatever, so that, like, even our relationship, the scene in Dee's Nups, which is another episode I absolutely love, that we have the moment where I, like, find out, like, everything they did was so right and the right timing.
Now, I do have to say one thing about the episode we don't discuss.
What?
Which was, as amazing as Annie Dudek was, I mean, she's a tremendous actress.
So good.
And her Lucinda Barrios was amazing. But, I mean, she was great, and I loved playing that character with her, that relationship. But we didn't realize what we were missing until Our Rays of Sunshine arrived. And
Thanks, Tim.
I wasn't going to cry during the panel. I was saving it all for the show, for the podcast tonight. But no, I'm not messing around at all. Like, when Maggie arrived on set, it looked like, for as great as the pilot was, that episode was, that we don't mention, and as much as we all gelled, it wasn't until Maggie arrived that we were like, oh, this was the puzzle piece we were missing that we didn't realize.
Tim.
It's true stuff.
We're not supposed to cry until tonight.
I've only got one.
It's okay.
pack
I'll hold
for
it together. I'll keep it together. But thank you.
I've only got one pack. I'm saving these for tonight.
That was a very long answer to your question. I'm so sorry, which was, yes, I do believe it was planned all along.
Wait, did they literally just walk away because we're so
still
long
talking.
with our answer?
All right, next one.
Hi. This question is for Timothy. It's about Galavant. So obviously Richard gets the beauty of both a villain role and a hero arc, which is rare and makes him the best character in the show.
I got you.
Which did you like better to play, the villain arc or the hero arc?
Did you get it?
The villain arc or the hero arc?
On Galavant. So, because Richard got to sort of be both the villain and the hero, what was your preference?
That's thank you. God, I love this Galavant love so much.
Yeah,
it really
it's
is
really
nice. It's tough because the villain arc was so ridiculous. I mean, when I got to play the villain, he was still so ridiculously silly. And it was much funnier than the hero arc. So in that case, I guess I would say the villain arc. And besides, villains are always more fun to play.
Villains are fun. So fun.
Excellent. So, but I want to talk, because you were talking about how Maggie was kind of gelled the cast together. But I want to talk a little behind the scenes, because there's a rumor, Maggie, that I think when you first got there, that you were driving and you kind of have a lead foot. And you kind of scared Tim. Is this a true story? And we're like going to like a shooting range or something along those lines?
Yes. It's a true story. And
is this about a certain traffic ticket?
What?
Or not traffic, a certain speeding ticket?
Season 1, Tim and I decided to take a field trip because we had to do, as we were working with firearms and things, we had to do some training. So we decided to, I decided to drive us to our practice that day. In Chilliwack, British Columbia, was not, yeah.
A good hour away, I would say.
Oh, at least, yeah. And I don't know, was just on an open highway, and I was going really fast, and then we got pulled over.
And suddenly we get the...
Yeah. And...
Pulled over.
And they were so nice. That's the thing I remember about them. The Canadian police officers were so nice. They they were so nice, but they were also like, you were just going so fast that we can't not give you a ticket.
I think the favorite part about getting pulled over was
this is terrible.
When he said how
Thanks a
fast you
lot.
were going, and you immediately, because you're such a nice person, was like, oh yeah, that's way too fast.
I was like, I can't even lie. Like the police officer, I didn't even try. I wasn't
Like,
what do you mean? That
she
wasn't
couldn't deny
fast.
it. Immediately was like, yeah, you're right. Me yourself. That wasn't just fast. That was way too fast. And I think we were trying to like play off like, oh, we're playing cops. We're going off to, we're trying to like that was going to get us out of the ticket. Like
they asked where we were going, and we were honest.
We're brethren, fake law enforcement officers. He did not care at all.
No. But they were still they were nice and pleasant and honest. So I, on our very first field trip, I got us in trouble.
So whenever we got the chance to like take field trips together, either Mag would drive or I would drive. Like we'd always, even though she may have gone a little fast in that one stretch of the highway, I certainly got her. I got her back and scared her back.
On set, always.
So there were a lot of, but we spent a lot of time hiking together, and I would tend to drive up to the North Shore, and let's just say my driving's maybe a little aggressive.
It made that day that we went to Chilliwack seem like I was the best driver ever.
But out of the two of us driving and me being an aggressive driver, which one of us ever got pulled over by the cops?
True.
So
True.
let's balance out. But
yeah.
But I still jumped at the chance every time I did. If we had to go somewhere, I wanted to go with Max and hang out.
Yeah, we had a ball. We have
There's
good
probably some
stories,
Starbucks
good
around the way.
memories. What?
We'd always make a Starbucks stop on the way.
Yes, Starbucks. We'd always Starbies. Get our Starbies.
Got to get the go-go juice for our work.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
God.
I apologize. I might
It's
stutter.
like I've never used a mic before. I'm so
stutter
sorry.
a bit, but thinking as Timothy, you going through Psych, then Galavant, and now Percy Jackson. Everything. Was ever a point where we just kind of look back like I've been in a lot, and have you've been or proud of the work you've done, and kind of look back on it fondly, or try to look back of things that you wish you could have done, or regret doing, or.
Basically, I think if I'm understanding correctly, what he's
So
saying
just
is you've
like-
had
so
an incredible
my
career.
translator's gonna
Yes.
help me.
You've had an incredible career. And I think what you're asking is, like, do you look back on that and think, like, I'm a badass? And, and I'm proud of myself. And also, would you do anything differently?
Yeah.
Is that sort of what
In layman's terms, yeah.
In those, sorry.
Hey, do we have matching sticks, by the way?
In Maggie terms. What?
Do we have matching sticks?
Close.
Oh, my God. That's so cool.
Because yours, where did you get yours from?
He got his from, I can answer this, I believe, from a place in London, correct? That's where your cane is from? This cane is from?
I think this is from a website called dopeasscanes.com.
Is this from your trip with Kat? Didn't Kat and John get you this? Or was this not? Or Duke's, London. Isn't there some cane maker? Okay, forget everything I just said. Anyway, dopeasscanes.com. That's it.
A friend actually gave me a sword cane, but the problem is because my left arm is still paralyzed. So I was like, I said to my physical therapist, I was like, so once because I can't hold with my left arm to pull it out of the scabbard. And I said, and then once I pull it out, what do I use for a cane? He said, the guy you stick it in.
Yeah, I've got a collection of knives, so I've got a sword cane as well.
Which I don't recommend trying to get them on a plane, though.
Nope.
That is a very cool cane you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all are twins.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Catherine.
Hi.
My question is, if Psych could have ever crossed over with another TV show, which TV show would you pick?
Whoa. That's good. If Psych could have ever crossed over with another TV show, what would you pick?
God, there's so many.
Well, go.
It would be Mad Men, just because I want to wear those suits. And
Ooh, Mad Men's great. I'll throw everyone for a loop and say something like Sex and the City because I love that show. Just because I would want to see like Sean as Carrie and like Dulé as Samantha and like anyway, yeah.
it'd be fun to drink at work. Although, might get a
We
little
drank
weird.
at work anyway. What are you
What?
talking about? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. A little bit.
So Mad Men just for the clothes.
Yes.
Which as spoiler alert, as Lassie becomes chief of police, I did kind of push for some sharper suits, so that I did get a really my first reveal as Chief Lassiter. I was in this amazing, super tailored Hugo Boss suit that they got, and maybe some Prada shoes.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I'm gonna
All
be
of
chief.
which might have fallen off a truck.
And ended up in Tim's closet. Yep. As it should.
Thank you.
Hi. Yeah.
But the thing about Psych is it's like a love letter though to so many other shows, and
Yeah.
you could tell that that there's a lot of love for the shows that came before it, and I think that was so fun. I think that's why the nostalgia ran so high, because you see they love television, they love the TV shows.
Yeah. A lot of 80s references, 80s music. Yeah. I know a lot of people had mentioned Chuck when Chuck was on, because we were kind of on at the same time. So that crossover, and Monk as well, which would have been a fun crossover. I think, who knows? Maybe we'll still see these things in the future. But yeah, we did. We touched on that nostalgia factor, which is kind of fun because I feel like now, like Psych almost has a nostalgia factor to people. And so we're like, anyway, it's a gift that keeps on giving, I guess. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Liz, and I absolutely love y'all's podcast. As somebody that would love to have a podcast of their own, do you have any advice that you would give to an upstarting podcaster?
Just do it. Like you can, I mean, my advice is like, if you have an idea and something you want to speak about and something you love and something you feel like you can, like Psych is so nice because we can speak on it, a little bit as experts, which is nice. But if you have something you want to share, I don't know. I'm always like, yes, if it's any kind of art you want to do or any kind of, but it is, I understand it feels like overwhelming at first, like all the technical stuff or whatever, but once you put those pieces together, you can just start recording. I don't know. I don't know if that's good advice, but I'm like, just do it.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you think, Tim? She wants to start a podcast, and she was asking for advice.
What about podcasts?
She was asking about advice in starting one, and I said to just go for it. That's what we did.
Speaking of podcasts, who's coming to the podcast tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Smart person, and smart person. See
you tonight,
And
see you tonight,
whoever
see you
else
tonight,
raised their
see you
hands, but
tonight.
I can't see it. And right in front of me, very smart person.
How are you?
Yeah, because I want to talk about that. Tonight they're going to be doing a podcast. They'll be recording it live. You guys can go a chance to buy a ticket and go see this and be able to see the magic. It's hilarious and a lot of fun. That's tonight. So if you haven't got a chance to do it, at the end of this panel on the screen, you'll see a QR code where you can buy a ticket to go see this amazing podcast. So it'll be up
there?
Yeah, it'll be up on screen once the panel's over there. All right, our next question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck with your podcast.
So I love Psych, but I get secondhand embarrassment just terribly. Was there anything in the show that you felt like you kind of cringed at a little bit because it was embarrassing?
Oh my
like that your
goodness.
characters did?
Oh, I don't know. Trying to dance or some of the psych outs I know that I agreed to do later, I maybe would have not. No, that's not true. I liked some of the psych outs. She was just asking if there was anything that we were like, a little bit like, you said cringe, right?
Yeah, like cringe or like secondhand
I love that
embarrassment.
word. I love it so much. There was anything that you would look back now and feel like embarrassed about or like, cringe about that you did on the show?
Embarrassed or cringe?
Yeah. Anything you did as Lassiter.
With anything we did on our show?
Yeah.
The brilliant show that was Psych? Are you kidding me?
remember dressing up as an ice cream cone for a Psych out where Sean and Gus sang the song, I think it's called Freak Me. Yeah, maybe a little cringe.
All right, thank you.
I mean, first of all, I'm an actor. I think everything I do is gold.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim, you're good. You're good. You're good.
So sorry, you're perfect.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I'm Brady. I'm a big fan of the show. My question was on the podcast and some other things you guys have talked about, like on-set in-jokes that you guys have. Yeah. Are there any that you haven't shared that would be a good opportunity to share with us? Or?
I mean, Dule Hill was a snack thief. I don't think we incorporated that into the show. Dule, he was saying we have so many funny jokes and like psychisms on the show, but is there anything that we did behind the scenes that like didn't make it, that they didn't see? I think there's a lot.
It depends on the statute of limitations.
Yeah. I think there are things maybe we can't talk about. No, but that was always one of my favorite memories. I remember
we've been pretty open books about our lives and our exploits on and off
our
set,
isms. Yeah. But yeah, just in case anybody didn't know that, Dule was always, you'd like make a snack and sit it on your chair and then go do a scene and come back and it'd be gone. And after a while, it was like, you just think, oh, somebody was cleaning up. Oh, whoops, whatever. And then after a while, it was like, no, somebody's deliberately doing this. And then it was like, oh, it's Dule. He liked that. I don't know. There's one.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Was there any props that you kept or wish you would have kept from the show?
Again, what's the statute of limitations? It's been almost 10 years, right?
I know you kept some things.
I have many things in my office that
I kept, there's a little brass mouse that sits on Juliet's desk that we feature only occasionally. But to me, it was the first thing I noticed when I walked on set the first time and saw my desk. It was just like a paperweight or something, and it was there for all 8 seasons. It was at every desk I had. It was in every, I mean, we I think even featured it in a few shots like toward the end, and I have that mouse.
I almost stole that mouse for you on the last day.
Yeah.
But I think you already had.
Yeah. So I have the brass mouse.
Excellent. Next question.
Hi, my name's Chloe, and I have a question for both of you. So I'm a huge Tears for Fears fan.
Yes.
What's it like being friends with Kurt Smith, and what's your favorite Tears for Fears song?
Oh, wow. Kurt is just the best. Kurt Smith is
Handsome Kurt Fuller?
Kurt Smith, Tears for
Kurt
Fears,
Smith.
yeah. Also handsome, though.
We're very lucky with our Kurts.
Yeah, we love our Kurts. We love the Kurts. Kurt Smith is hilarious, kind, generous. Like, he's just, he's like an angel of a man.
And still, every time we're around Kurt, I still get a little giggle. I'm like, I can't believe Kurt Smith is A, on our show, and B, my friend. It's just, I get a little fanboy every time we text.
I don't know. I'm somewhere between everybody wants to rule the world and probably, I don't know. That's probably my number one.
I mean, the fact that Kurt came and played our rap party was still just blows my mind.
Every time I'm with you, every time we get to go to a concert or hang out with him, I'm a little like, a little giddy. Yeah. Do you have a favorite Tears for Fears song?
I mean, Everybody Wants to Rule the World was my alarm all through the Galavant years.
I mean, that opener, just like, I get like butterflies the second that song starts, every time.
No, so I would wake up every morning to Galavant to that opening guitar riff, which still just makes me happy.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next question.
Oh, yeah. You look great.
Thank you. My name is Cole, and my question is for Tim. If Disney ever did a remake or a sequel to The Luck of the Irish, would you reprise your role?
If Disney ever did a sequel to Luck of the Irish, would you reprise your role?
Well, yeah, I mean, Steve's writing Luck of the Irish model.
Yeah. There's a little Disney... I did a Disney movie, too, No. And yeah, so Steve, the creator of Psych, because there's so much Luck of the Irish love, I would say less for model behavior, but he's decided that he wants to write a sequel that includes both, called Luck of the Irish Model.
It's gonna be,
And
hopefully
we
not-
can't wait.
I just want a little more time to work on my accent.
Yeah. I have to practice being two characters again, which I'm fine with. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
A little baby. Hi.
Hi, I'm just wondering how much of Psych was improvised?
Per episode?
Yeah.
How much of it was improvised? I'd say in the early days.
It depends on
quite a
who
bit.
was in the scene.
And that, like, a lot of it. So if it were like Tim and I had like case law jargon, like we had to get stuff out that was important. So that we couldn't play with as much. But the
Here we've
boys-
got a 729.
Yeah.
We would just literally make up.
We'd made up
police
codes
that don't
all
exist.
the time. But I think in the beginning there was a lot of improv because they were letting us sort of play and be creative. And the boys were really figuring out their dynamic, and James was really figuring out those wrap-ups where he had these like pages where he would just talk and have to do a dance or like dazzle and stretch and like all this stuff that was just like and all that, none of that would be written, right? Like he would choreograph these entire things. So I'd say like early on, before the writers really got the genius of, and they got the genius of him right away, but just all of that, then they started to write in the isms a bit more, just because they would get to know them. But I would say in the very beginning, there was a lot of improv. There was always a lot of improv, but finding the characters in the very beginning, I think there was a bit more off the page that we would keep
Also,
because
I think,
it was
sorry to interrupt.
good.
I think
No, go.
The bigger question is, out of the improv, how much actually made it to camera?
Yeah,
Which
and it
I
would
say
depend.
with James and Juliet, certainly 80%. Because
Yeah.
was that a pretty good number, right? Because it was just such gold, whatever he was laying down.
That's what I mean. They're agreed. So 80% there.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Timothy was the one that cracked the most for laughing.
Yes.
Who was the one that was like the machine, or didn't crack? They just kept going, of the cast.
Well, that's a toss-up between James and Dulé, because I would say Dulé had the harder job because James was constantly making us laugh, trying to make us laugh, throwing curveballs all the time. So, and Dulé just could hang. So I'd actually, and James never cracked, but I also don't think he didn't have James coming at him, right? The way that we all did. So I feel like Dulé probably deserves that trophy for sure.
Excellent. Next question.
My name is Charlotte, and one of my all-time favorite shows is Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
So my question for Timothy is, do you have a favorite moment or experience working on the set of Xena?
Okay, and I gotta say, Xena was really the beginning of my career, because prior to Xena, I was just starting, my career was just starting. I couldn't get 3 jobs in a row as a guest star. I was like, I'd sort of work a day here and there, and I was just like, if I could just get 3 episodes of something in a row, I can get ahead of my bills and I can actually make a living this thing. And I had a buddy who, I'm sort of going off track now. I had a buddy who had he had a moving truck, and he was like, he would move furniture for designers. And one day he's like, I'll give you $60 cash if you want to move furniture. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm back to manual labor. Absolutely. So I really think it was that day of me saying, yes, universe, I'll humble myself and I will move designer furniture into rich people's houses. And then the next day I got the audition for Xena, which ended up being 3 episodes.
Oh.
But it wasn't necessarily my favorite on-set moment. It was offset, because Lucy Lawless is just one of the nicest human beings in the world. My very first day in Auckland, I get a call. I'm like, it's weird. Who knows where I am? And it's Lucy, and she's like, hey, I got a day off. What are you doing? I was like, nothing. She goes, you want to see Auckland? It's like, yes, I do. So Lucy drives to the apartment where they pick me up, picks me up, and takes me on a little journey around Auckland for the day. This woman who never gets a day off, and she's chosen to take her day with this random guest star who just got to the country. It was just my favorite day ever.
Aww.
Because again, she's just
Thank
the
you.
nice person ever.
Amazing. Thank you. Next question.
Thanks for the Xena love.
Hi, my name is Mads. I feel like you kind of just answered my question, actually. Psych was known for numerous amazing guest stars: John Cena, Jane Lynch, Kurt Smith. Were there any guest star appearances that you did on other shows that really stand out to you? I know we saw you on an early episode of Criminal Minds, Tim. Was there anything that really stands out from guest starring throughout your career?
I think one of the earliest guest stars I did that felt like, I don't know, that it'll always stay with me is this show, Felicity, that was on. I was really young, and it was really emotional, and I remember, and J.J. Abrams directed the episode, and he was so kind, and it was just one of those experiences I'll always remember. It was also early days in my working, so that was really big, working with him. I did an episode of ER that was also kind of crazy. I got thanks Danny. And they all stand out in a weird way, but yeah, Tim, guest stars that stand out.
Guest stars. Sorry, I couldn't quite hear the question. It was
guest stars. Yeah,
in our careers, things that stand out. Had to be my very first job when I was my very first job was on Seinfeld, and I had zero idea literally kid fresh out of theater school. I had no idea what I was doing.
And then you guest starred on the biggest show on television.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Hollywood's weird.
Hollywood's
but I remember
weird.
sitting out on the stage, and Jerry Seinfeld is sitting, kind of stooping down with his back against the wall, eating an apple. And I just made some come out of my first job. And I remember going, "Oh, it's your first job. You're doing great." That was a bad Seinfeld impression, sorry. But him just being so kind and being like, "It's okay, kid. You're doing great."
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, next question.
Hello. My husband and his best friend absolutely loved the show. They introduced me to it. And my husband would love to know, what is your favorite moment between the two of you and Sean and Gus on set?
Oh. Wow. I almost think that they might come from the same episode for me. Did you hear? Favorite moment. So your husband, boyfriend.
My husband.
Husband and friend, their friend, anyway, they're big Psych fans. And they introduced her to the show, and his question was, what was your favorite moment between Lassiter and Juliet, and our favorite moment between Sean and Gus?
Favorite between Lassie. I'm not going to cry yet. I'm not crying until the panel tonight. I mean, the podcast night. God, it's such this is such a tough question. I mean, I think we have the same answer, but Clock Tower definitely is really high in my heart, followed by just a scooch behind the goodbye in Space Odyssey, in Psych Odyssey.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't even choose between those two.
It's weird. There's a moment in Mr. Yin, which is what we're talking about, the Clock Tower. There's a moment between Sean and Gus. Oh my God, now I'm gonna tear up. Where Sean calls Gus and wants to know if Juliet's okay, and Gus is wondering if they got to Abigail in time. It's this whole sequence that James just directed so incredibly. And it's so simple, this phone call between the two of them, but it's I don't know. I feel like they share this family, best friend, trust, and there's something so beautiful about how grounded I think both of them are, and throughout that whole episode. But that moment in particular is what's standing out to me now. There's so many of them, but I just got emotional thinking about that between Sean and Gus.
I can't even think of a favorite moment between those two because it was just.
They're just.
I mean, it's a total cop-out answer, but they're all so good, and those two together, their chemistry is to have a show where those guys have the chemistry that Lassie have is just. It's really kind of incredible when you think about it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Perfect.
We have time for one more, yeah?
Yeah, we have time for one more question, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Final question.
Hi.
My name is Charlie, and my question is, what was it like working with Keith David?
Oh, fantastic. Keith, what was it like working with Keith David? What was it like working with Keith David? He's amazing.
It just couldn't be better.
Yeah, honestly, it was, oh my God. That's this is what people feel like when they make you all can't see what's happening right now. Sorry, I'm coming back to this.
It was like screaming at you.
It's like this flashing light that's like, time's up. And anyway, lovely human. And Keith David was on the show. And anyway, fantastic. Yes. It was good.
Thank you.
As they all were. Yeah.
Guys, can you give a huge round
Oh
of
my God,
applause,
I'm so
everybody?
sorry. We had this whole thing happening. Thank you.
Now,